Welcome to Pack 6, this is question 1A. So we've got a formula here for working out the cost of hiring a bike. We'll need to work that out for 5 days. So we've got £15, which is our initial cost, and then it's £3.50 for each additional day, so we multiply that by 5. You type all that into your calculator, you will get £32.50. So this next part is a bit like a reverse question. We're given the final cost and we need to work backwards. So you take that £60.50, you take away the initial cost of 15 to leave you with how much came from the additional days. That will leave you with £45.50. You take £45.50, you divide it by the £3.50 per day, and you'll get your answer, which is 13. So it's 13 days. Alright, if you got that one wrong, you'll want to try question B as a bit of practice. The answer to B goes like this. It's £200 plus £12 for each of the 4 days, which gives you £248. For this one, working backwards, 308, take away that first cost, gives you 108, and then 108, divide that by the £12 per day, gives you 9. So it was 9 days that the car was hired for. Question 2A, so we've got a jumper, it costs £35, sale says 15% off, how much does it cost in the sale? So 10% of 35 is £3.50, 5% is going to be half of that, which is £1.75, add all of that together, you get 15%, which comes out as £5.25, so we've got to do £35, take the £5.25, which equals £29.75. So 2B, we've got a phone that costs £300 and we've got a 35% increase in price this time. So we do 10% of £300 is £30, another 10% and another 10%. That'll be another £30 and another £30. And then 5%, that is half of that, £15. So if we add up all of these, there's our 35%. Add up all of these, you get 105. If you do the £300 phone plus the 35% increase, which is 105, you get a total cost of the phone £405. Alright, so a probability question for 3A. We've got a bag of counters in, and these are the probabilities of selecting certain counters. So calculate the probability of getting a yellow. So at the moment we've got 0.4, 0.2 and 0.15. If you add all of that together, you get 0.75. Now probabilities have to add up to 1, so 1 take away that 0.75 will leave you with 0.25, which is the answer for yellow. A counter is drawn, replaced 200 times. How many times would you expect blue? So if we're doing it 200 times and the probability of blue is 0.4, then we'd be expecting 200 times 0.4, which is 80 times blue. Here's question 3B for some practice. So we've got 0.3 and 0.1, that's the probability of winning or drawing. That's 0.4, so 1 take away 0.4 must be the rest. So losing has a probability of 0.6. Matt's going to play 500 games. How many do you expect him to win? So he plays 500, times that by 0.3. Probability of winning, you get 150 games. Question 4A, round this to the nearest hundred. So what we do is find the number that's in the hundreds. That's the 2 here. Put a dotted line, check the next number, that's a 7. A 7 is a 5 or more, so we round up. So it's going to be 6300. 6,300. Round this to the nearest whole number, so you go to just at the decimal point, you check the number after, that's a 2, that's lower than a 5, so it's going to stay at 27. Question 4B, round to the nearest 1,000, so the 7's in the 1,000 column, so we put a dotted line after the 7 and we're left with a 1. 1 is 5 or less, so we stay where we are at 37,000. Round this to the nearest whole number, so a dotted line just at a decimal point, that is 5 or more, so we're going to round up, not 31, but 32. Translate this shape by a vector 4, -3. 4, -3 corresponds to 4 right and 3 down. So that's how far we've got to move this shape. So pick a point like this one here and go 1, 2, 3, 4 right, and then 1, 2, 3 down. take this next point here, we're going to go 4 right and 3 down, and the last point at the top, 4 right and 3 down, and we end up here. So this is the final shape. A ends up here. Another translation question. So -2 means we're going to go to left, and -6 means we're going to go 6 down. So again, let's pick a point. So this one 2 left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. This one 2 left, 6 down goes here, and this final one 2 left, 6 down goes here. So the final position of shape B, once it's been translated like this, is here. Question 6a. We've got some times for a race and we need to calculate an estimate of the mean taken. This word estimate here is a bit of a clue to help us to remember to do the midpoints, because we're only estimating these times. So between 0 and 10 the middle is 5, between 10 and 20 the middle is 15, and we get 25, 35, 45 and so on. Now we multiply these across and we get 30, 60, 75, 0 and 225. If we add all of those up, we're going to get 390. Then add up the frequencies and you'll get 18, and finally to calculate the mean, 390 over 18, which comes out at 21.7. 6b then, if you want more practice, the midpoints are 115, 125, 135, 145 and 155. Multiply these and you'll get 345, 875, 270, 145 and then 310. Add those up, you get 1945. Add up the frequencies, there's 15, 1945 over 15 comes out at 129.7. For this question we need to calculate x. We've got some angles and parallel lines, but we must give reasons for our answers. This is the way a lot of students will lose marks. So there's lots of ways of doing this question. The way I'm going to do it is as follows. I'm first of all going to find out this angle here, using the fact that this angle 113 and this one are corresponding angles. So I'm going to say that the angle BQR, which is that 113, BQR is corresponding to angle DRS and therefore equal. And then what I'm going to do to show I know that, I'm going to write 113 on the diagram. The next thing I'm going to do is 113 taken away from 180. So I take away 113, which equals 67, which will give us our answer to x, 67 degrees. And the reason for that, and I need to give that reason, was that angles on a straight line add to 180 degrees. That means that angle DRS and angle CRS equal 180 degrees. So the answer is x equals 67 degrees, and this is enough reasoning to get us that mark. Now there are a couple other ways you could have done this question. You could have used alternate angles and vertically opposite angles, or even possibly co-interior angles. There are many ways to do that. As long as you're clear of your explanation and you get the answer x equals 67, that's fine. So question 7b, in a similar way, I'm going to do this angle first here. So 180 take away 47 equals 133 degrees. And again, I'm going to mark that on the diagram to show that I know that. And the reason for this was angles on a straight line add to 180 degrees. So angle GEF plus angle BEF equals 180 degrees. That shows that we understand clearly that this angle here is 133. Now I'm going to use the fact that we have an alternate angle here with this Z shape to show that these two are equal. So the answer is 133 degrees for angle X, and my reasoning is angle FEB and angle ABE are alternate angles and therefore equal. Once again, this is not the only way to do this question. You could use, for instance, vertically opposite angles and co-interior angles, or even angles on a straight line again and corresponding angles. As long as you're clear with all of your explanations and you're working out, you will get the marks. Question 8a, we've got pens cost 30p, pencils 40p, and we need to work out a formula for the cost of X pens and Y pencils. So the cost is C, and X pens, well, pens cost 30p, so 30p, and we've got X of them is 30X, and then pencils, well, 40p, and there are Y of them, so that's 40Y. Question 8b, we've got apples 35p, bananas 45p, M apples and M bananas, and the cost is T this time. So M apples at 35p is 35M, and N bananas at 45p is 45N. Question 9a, the perimeter of the rectangle above is 34, form an equation and solve it. So we've got 2x plus 4 on the bottom because the top and bottom must be the same length, and on the left we must have x minus 2. So all of those make up the perimeter. If we add those up, 2x plus 4 plus another 2x plus 4 plus x minus 2 plus x minus 2, all of that must make the perimeter 34. Now we simplify 2x, 2x, that's 4x, 5x, we've got 6 x's. We've got 4, add 4, that's 8, take away 2, that's 4, equals 34. Then we solve this, we get 6x equals 30, therefore x must equal 5. Question 9b, in a similar way, we've got 3x take away 1, x take away 1, so if we have 3x take 1, plus another 3x take 1, plus x take 1, plus x take 1, all of that must come to 28. We've got 3x, 3x, x, and x, that's 8x, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, let's subtract 4 altogether, equals 28. To solve this, add 4 to both sides, and you get 32, and then finally divide by 8, and you'll get x equals 4 as your solution. Question 10a, reflect the shape in the line y equals 4. So this here is the y-axis, so when y equals 4 is at this point here, and anything along this line here. We reflect it in that by counting squares, so this is 1 square away, so it ends up 1 square away. This is 1 square away, so also 1 away. This one goes 4 away, so 4 away is here, and we end up with these points. So that is the reflection of A in the line y equals 4. Reflect this one in x equals -2, so in a similar way, this one crosses the x-axis at -2, and this point's 3 squares away, so 3 squares away, that's 3 as well, so that goes here. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 away from the mirror line would be here, so that is where shape B would end up. That's the end of revision video 6. Please check out the next one in this series, revision video pack 7.